Guess what, friends? That's right, it is Trekking Tuesday. You are not going to believe this weather forecast. If you do recall, last time I was out, the high was at 32, maybe 33 degrees. Not today. When I left the house this morning, it was 61 degrees out. When I hit the trailhead, it is 71. The high today is supposed to be at least 75 to possibly 80. Slight wind out of the east, a little bit overcast, but that's it. Beautiful day for this time of year. Not complaining. Now, what am I going to do today? I want to build a simple tarp shelter, just using some materials that we find out here. That's not going to be a problem, and a tarp and some bank line. I've decided. Ooh, I just ran into a spider web. That's awesome. I have decided from here on out until the end of the year, I'm not going to do any fancy videoing except for the video requests I've gotten. And like, I've got one for the extreme cold weather bag I carry and a couple others like that. But everything else is going to be done in the Trekking Tuesday series, just because it's more laid back, more personal. I don't have to worry about cameras and camera angles and sound. And I do have to worry about where the hell I'm going. I'm trying to find a spot I had last time. Like an idiot, I didn't mark it on the GPS. I think that's it over there, to be honest with you. Let's go check it out. So that's what's going on with that. Yep, that's got to be it. I do want to do a Bob update video. Well, that spot over there looks good too. Shoot. All right, let's stick with this one. I'll go into it in more detail in the video. But I've got a family member that's not doing so good, and if they take a turn for the worst, I'm just going to have to back away from the social media for a little bit. Not a big deal. All right, let me put you down and kind of get moving a little quicker so we can find the spot I'm looking for. In typical Bob fashion, I have changed locations. I didn't like it where I was. I was feeling a little too exposed, so I decided to move to here. River's that way. We cannot be seen by the river trail at all. The road is that way. We can't be seen by the road at all. In fact, we're kind of socked in on all this deadfall. I will have to do some prep work. Like, obviously, this has got to come down. That's not a big deal. I probably can incorporate that into the build. That's fine up there. That's all locked together. Let's see what this one's doing. Yeah, that's all locked in. I'm not too worried about this. I mean, if I wanted to, I could probably take it down, but I'm not going to because it's kind of blocking me. Yeah, I'm really in here. That's going to have to come out. All right, let's go over here and I'll show you what we're going to be using. I like it here though. Man, look at all the resources. I am not going to have to go far for materials. All right, anyway. We are going to be using, let me clear this mess up I got going, a tarp, and that is a 9x11. Got that from Harbor Freight, not sponsored. It was about $11. In my neck of the woods, these are seasonal, so you got to grab them while they're there. Now, that one I think is a 5 mil, so I know the blue tarp is at least a 3 or a 4, so that's a little bit more sturdy. For our cordage, bank line, got it from Wally World. Wasn't that much, I can't even remember. Not sponsored, obviously. For tools, we're going to be using the buck saw or bow saw and the trusty machete. But first, I need to take care of that problem right there so we're a little bit safer. got that deadfall cut out of the way, cleared that out. Then I cleared some space down here to open this area up. I've got the tarp laid out, staked down. That's R9. That here is our R11. And it looks like it's going to fit pretty good in this area. I might scoot it back a little bit, I don't know. So the first thing we need to find is our ridge pole that goes from here to here. And then we need to find 2 side poles that go from there to there, which where we're at shouldn't be a problem. I found the poles and I'm pretty happy. Actually, this one really makes me very happy. See that nice little curve in the middle? That's going to come in handy here in a little bit. Then I've got my side poles. Now notice, we didn't cut down any live trees for this project. We don't have to. Nature provides everything we need. Next, we need to cut these poles to length. So, let's see, I gotta do some math in my head. Hang on a second. Okay. So 9 by 11.5. So that's going to be 0.5 from here to here. If this is 11.5, so these have to be 0.5. So I want to say 6.5 foot on these poles, and then down 0.5 from the bottom up to here to the top is where we need to cut these at. The center pole's perfect where it is. I don't want to change it. Let's get these poles cut. I've got all my sections cut, and I'm about 1 inch from the bottom over there, 1 inch from the bottom over there, and then if you noticed, I marked the center area where I think I want to tie my cordage to our ridgeline pole. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip, make a mental note here, okay, so right there, and flip these around, and line them up with this section right here. I need to keep this straight, because I want that angle. Then line this up here, put that little guy there, and then we're going to attempt to lash these together, there and there. Quick heads up, I have no freaking clue what knots I'm going to be tying on this. Generally, I call them bob knots. They usually hold for the most part. I haven't had one collapse on me yet, but we'll see. So we're going to tie our first bob knot right here. And it appears it's turning into a slip knot. Yep, that's a slip knot. That's going to be perfect. Alright, now we start lashing our poles together. Not that hard. We're going to go around. This bank line's pretty strong. I think we can get it with 3. But you know what? Let's go ahead and do 4 on this for the heck of it. Did you believe I'm actually starting to break into a sweat? This time of year, that is unheard of. All right, make sure we're lined up. We're lined up with this one here. Down. Let's go down a little bit. All right, one more time around. I think, yeah, 3 is looking pretty good. I don't think we're going to have any problems. All right, that looks good. All right, next. One more time. There you go. I need to cut this off because this next part's going to be a pain in the butt if I don't. This needs to go on the other side of that. What the heck have I done? If you came here to see a professional outdoor video, this is not it. All right, there we go. We're on the other side of that. And the other side of this. Next, I'm going to tighten all that mess up I just made. Oh no, we lost my angle. Not cool. All right, that is loose as all heck. No worries on that, we'll fix it. And that is pretty much my fault. Everything's going south in a hurry. All right. Next we need to cut this. We can do this in two ways. You can either use your knife or I'm just going to use a lighter. Like so. Pull it apart. And then while it's still hot, if I can get this to do it, I'm going to come around and stick it to itself, but it's cooled off by now. Let's heat it up again. Like so. Boom. That is going nowhere. Alright, that's good. Off you go. Next we got to clean this freaking mess up I just made. So that goes there. That is loose. We need to tighten all this up. Like so. Oh, there it is. Perfect. Alright, next. We need to lock these into place. I'm going to go around one more time so this will be a lot easier for me. We're going to go through here. Like that. Notice it's still loose. And you go underneath. Maybe. Then we're going to go around in the center. Like that. And that's what's hanging up. Notice it is still very, very loose. We're going to fix that though. Let me show you how here in a minute. Around like that. Lock that into place. Get around that freaking knot. Then we'll do the same thing over here. Like that. And then we're going to tie it off to our tag end, wherever the heck that went. There. And there. Boy, this has been the longest tying section ever. That's good. Still loose though. And let me get this tied off into what I call another bob knot. Then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do next. I think that's about as tight as I'm going to get them, but they're still awful freaking loose. We can make this work though. Oh, right. Now we get to set it up. What I want to do, I don't want to do that, is I'm going to roll this under. And then there we go. Dot. We'll do the same thing with this one, and it's fighting me as usual. Not a problem. All right. Uh-oh. Next thing is we need to pull the tarp out from underneath. Let's do that real quick. I want to scoot it back a little bit, and then also we need to do some maintenance. I need to cut this off and this off here so it won't catch on the tarp. But then when I get it into place, I'm going to dig a small hole down in the back side just to rest that center section in, the ridge pole, so it doesn't move. let's take a look at what I got so far. I've completely took all the knots off the ridge pole so we won't cut the tarp. And then I buried this down into the ground, close to about 7 to 8 inches, and just smashed the clay around it. So it's not going nowhere. Let's see how sturdy it is. Oh yeah, we're gonna be fine. And this knot tightened up, as you can see how much tension is put on the poles. I don't want to get too much because bank line will cut these things in half. Yeah, we're good. Next, we got to fit the tarp. I've got to admit, every once in a while I kind of impress myself. This came out a lot better than I expected. One quick thing, if you decide to build one of these for an emergency or survival situation, you want to build it a little bit smaller, because smaller it is, the easier it is to heat. But in the summer, doesn't matter. You can have it as tall as you want. Let's take a quick recap of what I've done so far. We got it staked out down there. Tied it off to our front support poles with some bank line there. Look how tight this is. Yeah, that's not going nowhere. Tied off here, staked down there. Come along to the sides. I have some of these tarp clamps, I guess you call them that. Pulled it off here to get more room on the center. On the back section, this is really cool. Hey, if you know what these are, leave it down in the comment section, because I cannot think of the name of them. But anyway, we pulled this taut against our ridge pole, staked down here. So now if we need to, we can put some sticks under there and create some nice airflow so we don't get condensation. And we pulled it out over here. Let's take a little look on the inside. Look how roomy this is. I can actually sit up in it where I'm at right now. Can you believe that? Look how much space. I mean, by folding this tarp over, we got somewhat of a ground sheet. Once you put your thermal rest here on down, you'll even have more room. And you head down there, feet would be here, gear on this section, and that curved pole, look at that. That gave us so much extra space. You could probably get 2 people in there with no problem either. This thing came out huge. Let's take a look at that curb pole from the side. Look at that. That is freaking awesome, man. So what am I gonna do now is I'm gonna have to put you on a charger. You're at 40%. Then as you can see, I kind of moved in front of the shelter, and I'm still impressed on how well it came out. I got the Bob update video done, just kind of explaining what's going on, and I'm not going anywhere. I just might have to disappear for a bit. I have a very small fire here. We don't need a big one at all for what we're going to be heating up. Plus, the wind has come down to the ground, and I don't want to risk it because everything on around here is just dry. Basically, I'm sitting in a huge freaking tinder pile. I don't want to be the one to catch the wood on fire. I kind of jumped ahead of you. When you weren't looking, I do apologize. What is that? I have no idea. I brought a can of mystery substance with me. It was in the pantry. The label fell off of it. It kind of looks, God, I hope it's not cream of mushroom. Well, it looks like really thick chicken noodle soup. Huh. I'm going to have to put some water in there and get the rest of the contents out. I don't want to waste any. Or I can spoon them out when you're not looking. So why I'm not using the can to heat it up in, you've got to be really careful. It's got a coating in there, and if it gets hot, it turns toxic. Basically, the coating just protects the contents of the can from making it rust and all that good stuff. Well, I didn't waste too much. So we got a very, very, very small fire. Let's throw the lid on. And I'm just going to set that over here to the side and let that slowly heat up. I'm pretty sure that is 100% ready to come out of there. Let's see. Oh, God, yeah. We might be burning a little bit. Let's pull that off the fire and stir it. Oh, boy. Okay, we didn't burn. Now we are definitely, and I mean definitely, going to let that cool down a bit. I think that's way too hot to eat. While I'm waiting for that to cool off, and it is extremely freaking hot, we need to put this fire out because the wind keeps coming up on me and I don't want to risk it. I'm not going to put water on it. We really don't need to. There's not many coals left at the bottom. But this is a clay sand silt mix. There's a lot of clay in here, and if you can look, that is fire hardened already. See? Get a piece off of it. So what's going to happen when we cover this up with this wet clay, so you see that's wet, it's basically going to encase itself and probably make a good batch of charcoal. Let's make sure we don't get too many roots in there, though. That would not be good. You know what? I think we'll be all right, because we're going to be here for a while and keep an eye on it. But you do got to be careful if there's roots around. One of them could catch on fire and burn for days and then end up into that mess, and well, before you know it, you got a freaking forest fire. All right, let's get this put out, just to be safe. And just like that, you can't tell I've had a fire. I'm going to stomp that down just to be extra safe. And I'll probably throw some leaves over it before I leave, but I will check the top of the ground to make sure it's not hot, though, before I do that. I think it's been long enough. At least I hope it has, man. We're about to find out. There's not a bunch of steam. Yeah, there still is a little bit. All right, let's take a little bite here. Maybe a littler. It's not cooled off. Oh, my land's up. That was a little warm. I'm gonna give that a couple minutes. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna slowly start breaking the camp down. Looks like the sun has hit the horizon. It won't be long until it's dark out here. Now, unlike the last time, I'm not in a rush. I'm not too worried about anything getting me tonight. Still have a little more soup to go. Yeah, it's still freaking warm. Got my trash there. Got to pack that out with me. So how are we going to get out of here? Well, I've decided we're going to do some night hiking, and I'm going to take you along. There might be a little hyperlapse. I'm not sure. We'll see. But I'm going to show part of it. Well, you know what? We're not more than a mile in. Yeah, I think this battery will last that long. I've got plenty of them, though. Which one is this? A? Yeah. I think I'm going to use, okay, doing this one-handed, not as easy as you would think. Come on. Open, please. All right, come up here. Extreme close-up of my leg. I think we're going to use this one. I got this one as a backup. I haven't used it yet. I know this one works great. Let's load this sucker up. One-handed. There we go. How we doing? Oh, plenty of juice. See how bright it is. I'm going to take this filter off. We don't need that. We're going to go with the sunlight. That'll be good. That's not bad. You know what? Let's see. Let's pop that off. And this is the camera rig I'll be using. I'll get it set up here in a minute. Let's see how bright this little guy is. Just out of curiosity to comparison them. And that is not it. That is 4. All right. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, the battery's secure. Let's see where we're at. 99%. Power this one up. Huh, that's not very bright. All right, hang on. Remember that. Yeah, we're using this one, and we'll save this little guy. Well, I have a feeling that filter might have something to do with it as backup. In the meanwhile, turn this off. I'm gonna get the camera rig set up, and I'm hoping to have 100% charge on you before we leave. I'm gonna finish up my soup, then check the area for any trash I've left. Then we'll start our exodus. Does that cool down any? Let's find out. That's a lot better. That is good. That is creamy chicken noodle soup. Well, friends, I almost did a really bad thing. I kind of fell asleep. And if it wasn't for that train coming by, I'd still be asleep. But, yeah, it's dark. There's a little bit of light left on the horizon. Let's see if you can see it. Well, that comes out really good in the camera. But not much, trust me. If I didn't have the camera on and could see through the camera, I couldn't see that tree that's right there in the center. So yeah, it's pretty dark. The trip out of here normally takes me, we're not that far in. I can usually knock it out, probably 30, 40 minutes. Let's see what we can do tonight in the dark. Oh, I forgot I had this light. Oh, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Hopefully this light will make it all the way out. And another thing I wasn't thinking of is hopefully I have enough SD card for this film. Of course, I will reduce it down so it's not so long. But there's a shelter in the dark. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? I double checked to make sure the fire was out, and it was. I think I need to tilt this light a little bit more down so you can get a better view. Let's see. How's that? Is that better? Yeah, now, how are we getting out of here? Well, river's that way. Road is that way. And the mountaineer is that way. Now, obviously we can't go through that. I mean, we could, but I don't want to. Bushwhacking. Hang on, let me check the area, make sure I didn't leave any trash. All right. Bushwhacking in the dark is not fun. Your worst enemy is getting slapped in the face by a freaking tree limb like that. So what we're going to do is I need to come around this way. I just scared my own self. Oh, I tell you, if you want to conquer your fears, do some serious night hiking. And we need to come around this tree right here. And I know, because I kind of sighted this out before it got too dark, that there's a valley we need to go through. And we should hit the riverbank. Alright, there it is. Alright, I do not want to walk through that. Let's see. Let's see if we come up this way and find something a little better. Not really. Well, shoot. Let's see how bad it really is. Not gonna happen. All right, we're gonna go around, which means we're adding a little extra time onto our hike out here, but not a big deal. Okay, I'm gonna get you positioned here, and then we'll probably start. Whoopsie. Let me fix that real quick.
Channel mode.
Well, that's not going to work.
Channel mode.
One more time. Hang on.
Scanning begin.
All right. I guess I'm going to start the hyperlapse now. I checked and it took us 29 minutes to get back to the mountain air, which means I wasn't as far out as I thought I was. So I want to say maybe a half mile. And the battery on the light is at, where's the button? It's got a button there somewhere. Oh, wow. 1%. We're about to lose that little guy. Okay, so that's good to know. I can only get a half hour of light out of this on full brightness. One thing I did to the pack, because I needed hands-free, is I took the cooler, I'll set you up right there, looped it around the pack, and then put it on the back like that. Unfortunately, there's still some water left. Well, I guess that's a good thing. Still some water left in there, and it kind of pulled the pack back, which was a little bit uncomfortable. But we did it. We definitely did it. Oh, look at this. Brought a freaking stick in with me. Let's take a look here. Now, I'm going to turn this off real quick. Now. Okay, the camera picks this up a little bit better than my eyes do, but you can kind of, I'm looking to the camera and you can see the horizon right there. Just barely. Oh, we got some stars over here. Hang on. I don't know. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. Yeah, we got a star right there. And a couple more you really can't see. Well, heck, friends, I guess I'm going to wrap this video up. It was a good day. My shelter came out a heck of a lot better than I thought it would. I'm pretty happy about it. You know, you're ever somewhere and you really just don't want to leave. And that's the feeling I'm getting right now. I guess I have to go back to reality and be responsible again. All right, friends. I'll see you in the next one.